Hello, my fellow gaming addicts. It's yours truly, Only Pressure, back with another fire unboxing and review video. Today, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Game Traveler Deluxe Travel Case Mario Kart World Edition. I purchased the travel case from Walmart and it cost $24.96 plus tax. They have a regular version of this case without the Mario Kart World design for $19.96 plus tax. For those of you who like to keep it plain and simple and of course save a few bucks, which I am all for that. Let's start things off by talking about compatibility. The Game Traveler Deluxe Travel Case is compatible with Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch OLED model, and Nintendo Switch Lite. You can use the case for any of those versions of the Switch, which I think is awesome, guys. Now, let's go over the specs listed about the case. It is a hard shell case that protects, in this case, my Nintendo Switch 2. It states it has a recessed bottom insert that firmly holds the Nintendo Switch 2. It supposedly has a comfortable carrying handle, and inside is a comfortable cleaning cloth for the screen included. This travel case can hold and protect up to 12 game cards, which is always a plus when you can store and protect your game cards along with your Switch 2 or Switch device. You can also store a micro SD card case, 2 pieces, and each holds 2 micro SD cards. Lastly, this case allows you to use it as an adjustable stand that you can sit your Switch 2 on, adjust the viewing angles, and game on your Switch 2 at your preferred viewing angle. So far, this case is looking to be promising, guys, even though it is on the slimmer side and you can't put your docking station, Switch 2 Pro controller, grip controller, AC adapter, etc. in this case. This case is designed for you strictly handheld gamers or if you just want less bulk. For example, you are going over family and friends and don't plan on docking to their TV or outside to the park for some handheld gaming. This is the case for you. Next, let's go over the front design. It is the Mario Kart World Edition. It showcased many, if not all, the Mario Kart World playable characters, racing to the finish line to be first. It is bright and colorful. Will definitely stand out from some of the traditional plain cases, and nothing is wrong if you like a plain case. I am a fan of Mario Kart World, and this case just stood out to me. The colors pop, and I like unique items. And this case is unique to me. It even has the Mario logo for the zipper. This case is an eye catcher for us Mario fans. As I hold the case in my hands, it is a firm case with not much give, which is good if you drop it. This case is highly likely to keep your Switch 2 and game cards secure. It is a pretty solid case that would take a lot of force to smush seemingly. Also, the front side of the case is pretty solid without much give. That feels like a hard shelled plastic of some sort. You would literally have to run over this traveling case with a car in order to damage your Switch 2. I do believe you can drop this case with your Switch 2 inside and game cards over and over and nothing will happen. It is also safe to place in a book bag or travel suitcase and will keep your Switch 2 and game cards safe. I do worry about possible scratching of the Mario Kart World design on the front, so you want to be mindful of that. Not sure how scratch resistant the design is. We don't want our Mario Kart World Edition Game Traveler Deluxe travel case looking like a vengeful cat got a hold to it, do we? Time to open up the travel case and reveal the inside contents. All right, guys, first thing first, we have a red cleaning cloth with Switch 2 branding so we can keep our Switch 2 screen clean. I love that it is Switch 2 branded, but I wonder will it peel after long term or even possibly short term use. Over time, I am sure I will find out. but at the moment I do like the cleaning cloth. Next, here's how the screen will be protected. Once your Switch 2 is placed inside, the flap will lay over the screen and be secured by a Velcro strap. The travel case also includes instructions inside to show you what everything is for and how the case is intended to be used once opening. Here is two red foam inserts that goes on the right and left side of the travel case, so you can use the original Switch with the travel case. I only have the Switch 2 currently, so won't be showcasing how the original Switch can be placed inside the travel case, but do note this case can be used with the original Switch as stated. At the bottom of the inserts are adhesive sticker that you can remove for it to stick to your travel case for extra secure protection for the OG Switch. Now, let's look at the bottom inside of the travel case. This is where you can place your Joy-Con straps for when you want to use your Joy-Cons in mouse mode. You can put an additional game card case storage to carry additional game cards, but it is sold separately. Lastly, after packing in your Joy-Con straps and game card case, you will then sit your Switch 2 on top. When you open the flap, here is where you will store your 12 game cards. Also, I want to point out the two red cases that resemble game cards are used for if you want to carry additional micro SD cards. Each red case holds 2 micro SD cards, so 4 in total can be brought along when using this travel case. In general, you have the option to bring along 12 game cards or 10 game cards and 4 micro SD cards. That's not including if you already have a micro SD card and game card inside the Switch 2 system, therefore increasing the storage capacity for each by 1. Very useful case. You can attach the flap to the top of the case to adjust the viewing angles. Because this travel case allows you to sit your Switch 2 in it propped up in various viewing angles to play without using the Switch 2 kickstand. Alright, time to start placing our Joy-Con straps and Switch 2 inside the case to see how everything fits. As you can see, everything fits as intended. There is a bit of space left over on the right side and left side of the case once Switch 2 is placed in. I think this was intended to allow extra room for if you want to put your Switch 2 with a case on inside this travel case. I will test it out to see if possible in this video. Stay tuned. However, without a case, the Switch 2 can move around slightly due to extra space left over, which to me is not a big of a deal because the Switch 2 is secured by the Velcro strap and the case will be closed. I don't think the material used with this case will scratch the screen or the back of the Switch 2. However, if you are going to be placing your Switch 2 in here bare bones, you can wrap it in a protective cloth or place a cloth on the front side and back side to resist it from scratching. Also, you can simply put some cushion such as cotton balls inside the leftover space so the Switch 2 won't slide inside the case. Next up guys, We're going to see if the travel case can be used when you have a grip case applied to your Switch 2. In this case, I will be trying it with the Switch 2 with the Unicorn Beetle Pro Soup case applied. Here is a look at the Unicorn Beetle Pro Soup case applied to the Switch 2. I have a separate unboxing video on the channel that go in further depth about the case. Be sure to check it out. It is a slim case, but as you can see, it does add some additional bulk to the Switch 2. Hopefully it can go inside our travel case here. It would be very nice if it can. Alright, it is able to be placed on the inside at least. Now, we just have to make sure we can secure it with the Velcro flap. Here it is, folks. The Switch 2 is secured inside our Mario Kart World Edition Game Traveler Deluxe travel case. Time to get it closed for an official conclusion. As you can see, it is able to be zipped up fairly easily, which brings us to our conclusion that the Switch 2 can be used with a grip case inside this travel case. I am assuming that is why the extra space is given on the right and left side for those of us who apply cases to our Switch 2 and prefer to leave it on at all times if possible. There you have it, my fellow gamers, the full complete unboxing and review of the Game Traveler Deluxe Travel Case Mario Kart World Edition. I want to thank everyone who stayed and watched all the way to the end of the video. Please be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and become a gaming addict today. Get hooked on fun with me. It's your boy Only Pressure. Peace.